Hi kindergarten, it's me, Miss Belts. Today is Friday, April 9th, 2021. Today we are going to identify a sphere. Think about when you've heard the word sphere before. What are we going to do? Well, we're going to look at pictures of spheres and determine their attributes. Remember, that's the way that they look and how they feel. So just different ways that it makes up that shape. And why do we do this? Well, it's important to be able to describe a shape by its attributes. So let's get started. Our first word we have today is 3D solids. This is a word that we've seen all week long. Remember, a 3D solid is a shape that is made up of 2D figures and it can stand up. The next word we have is a sphere. This is our word today. So look at this object. What does it remind you of? Just think about it. You don't have to tell me yet. So a sphere is a 3D object that is just made of one really big curved surface. And it reminds me of a ball. Remember, a face is a flat surface of a 3D figure. An edge is where two faces come together and they create this line right here. The next one is vertex. Remember, a vertex is when three faces or two edges come together and they create this point or this little corner right here. So let's look at the attributes of a sphere. Before we do that, let's look at the actual picture of a sphere. So what do you notice about it? I know we already kind of talked about it. So it has a curved surface. And this one is blue, but not all spheres are blue. Sometimes they're different colors. So that's not how we're going to talk about it right now. It does look like a ball, I agree. Does it remind you of anything else? Think about that. You don't have to answer right now, but does it remind you of something other than a ball? Let's find out. So let's look at this. Now let's look at a sphere. You will see that a sphere is rolling around because it's shaped like a ball. A sphere just has a curved surface and it actually has no faces at all. It does not have any faces. So 0 faces for a sphere. Just as we have done all week long, let's go ahead and fill in our anchor chart. So a sphere, here's my picture of the sphere, has 0 faces. Now let's see how many edges a sphere has. Since a sphere does not have any faces, that also means that a sphere does not have any edges. So a sphere has 0 edges. So we found out that a sphere has 0 edges. So a sphere has 0 faces and 0 edges. What's your guess? How many vertices do you think it's going to have? Don't tell me yet. How many vertices do you think it's going to have, though? Just think about it. And let's watch and find out. Since the sphere has 0 faces and 0 edges, that also means that it has 0 vertices. So a sphere has 0 vertices. Did you guess the correct answer? So a sphere has 0 faces, 0 edges, and 0 vertices. So I asked you a question a couple minutes ago. We know it kind of looks like a ball, but is there anything else you can think it looks like? Think about it. Let's actually look at some examples that you might see at home or at school or just whenever you're walking around. So the earth that we live on is shaped like a sphere. Of course, we have our soccer ball, basketball, and our baseball, which are also all shaped like a sphere. I can think of some other types of balls we use to play with that are shaped like spheres also. And the other one I was thinking of when I asked you if there's something you could see is an orange. So if the orange is put all the way together, it actually looks like a sphere. So I went ahead and filled in our anchor chart with a soccer ball because I like to play soccer and it looks like a sphere. So let's review what we talked about today. Today we identified a sphere. We looked at the pictures of the spheres and determined their attributes. 0 faces, 0 edges, 0 vertices. And we did this because it's important to be able to describe a shape by its attributes. Here's what you are going to do today. Today you are going to do the same thing we've been doing. So if you're at school, you're going to have this piece of paper. You're going to cut out these different shapes and you are going to put them in the right category. So if it's a sphere, it's going to go on this side. And if it's not a sphere, it's going to go on this side. If you're at home and you do not have this piece of paper, you are able to hold on to the objects by clicking it and then just dragging it to the right spot. So you're going to decide if you're going to hold on to it and decide is it a sphere or is it not a sphere. Remember to turn it into Google Classroom, and if you have any questions, ask your teachers. See you later. Bye.